Legendary Relics in Pokemon Amber Episode 10.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Episode 10. I'm Gabe,
We'll
and
find
today
the
we'll
MacGuffins
be
of
exploring
this
Mayo Cave,
game, I guess you could say.
confronting Team Arc, and even meeting the pseudo-legendary for the region. Oh, and be sure
Of
to
course.
stick around to the end,
How much
as
you want to
I'll
bet the
have
dragon?
another prompt to design more of your ideas.
9 times out of
But
10,
first,
right?
In the last episode, you made it through Route 5, but had to prove your ability to Professor Ginkgo before proceeding into Mayo Cave. Apparently, some of Team Arc are causing trouble, and the professor could use your help with the problem.
Also, we met a new character. Are we just gonna leave that part out and have a trainer battle with the adaptation attack? I know that wasn't really plot stuff, but it still feels like it's worthy of a mention.
My. Mayo Cave is pitch black, isn't it? Here, I want to give you this. This is a Poke Ride signal. It will allow you to call my Takashuru to illuminate dark caves for you.
Oh.
Yep, that's right. We've got a basic Poke Ride system for the Palean region. You'll only be
Nothing wrong with
picking up a
that.
total of 4 across the region. And
Really?
the first involves little Takashuru. When you press the Poke Ride
That's
signal
cute,
on
though.
your ID badge, Takashuru appears and happily sits atop your head. It charges up until its cheeks glow brightly, illuminating dark caves. There were likely some smaller caves and areas in earlier routes that you weren't able to explore.
But now you
Your
can.
new source of light would allow you to
This is
backtrack and pick
adorable.
up items and encounter rarer Pokemon.
The ride
Here
system
in
from
Mayo
Gen
Cave,
7 was
you
easily a
hear
great
voices
addition.
far ahead.
I mean, anything was
and
better
do
than
your
the
best to
HMs, but
stay
still, this was a
quiet
very good
while you
one.
navigate
Oh, they like the
cave.
Eevee about
You
the
spy some
Pokemon
new
Let's
Pokemon,
Go, where it's like
which the
the
professor
Eevee and
still
Pikachu can do
encourages you
everything.
to document and catch.
I still find the
Around
fly the
play,
most adorable,
Pokemon
though.
hops out and stares
Just
at you.
balloons, that's
This
it.
will be the first real object-mon for the
What did you
region.
do to Sandagast?
Pottery from ancient civilizations can be found all over the globe, and I knew we had to do something
Yep.
with that. And because that pottery is often found as small shards, I decided to bring in another bit of inspiration.
What a funny
Kintsugi
thing
is
about
the
pottery to
traditional
me is it
Japanese
got
art
the old God
of
of War
repairing
games. You could
broken
just
pottery
destroy
with
pottery
gilded
everywhere and get a
lacquers
bunch of red orbs
in
to
order
give you
to
more
highlight and
experience.
celebrate the damage.
But it's like, if you think about it, it's like, these
So
are
our
ancient
little
relics
pot
that
here
were
will also
of
be
their
made up of
times, but
different
it's like,
clay
back then they were
shards.
just a
I
pot.
could also see a fun
They
little
wouldn't
gimmick
know.
where the majority of this Pokemon have
It's kind of
a
funny, you
handful
know,
of
in hindsight.
mismatched pottery shards, but like the authentic Sinistea, you could find a super rare, completely matching pot. Anyway, this
Oh, so this
is
will be our
Kintsugi,
spin of the region,
the
basically.
cracked pot Pokemon. This round
That's where I had
Pokemon's
that,
body
I
is
remember.
actually the
Cool Pokemon,
fluid
though.
sand inside the pot.
Ooh,
Kint Sandy holds
Neat.
sharp shards of pottery around themselves to create a decorative but brittle armor. If they ever
There's a
lose a
melting
piece
pot
of their pot,
point
they
ability.
will pick up a random shard and incorporate it. Finding a Kint Sandy with an entirely matching pot is extremely rare. Its ability is something I'm calling Melting Point, so fire-type moves
Actually, not a big
raise
fan
the
of the shiny of
Pokemon's
this
defense.
one, but
And
that's
that's
some
just to
personal opinion.
reference the clay baking process.
It's not like
from
ugly,
making
you know.
pottery.
This isn't like
It
Espeon
waddles around the
Green or
cave,
something, where
looking
it's
for
on top of
new
the head.
shards of clay to incorporate into its pot.
Hmm.
As it wanders off, you spy a familiar shape gliding around in a clear pool of water.
Emolga!
Alright, time for
Anorith.
my favorite fossil Pokemon to get its primal form. I find Anomalocarids, which is what Anorith is based on, to be so, like, alien and weird.
They are
fascinating.
very alien.
Honestly, I love the original Anorith so much, it was a struggle just finding things to change.
Right?
In the end, I decided I wanted its fins to be a bit more accurate, so I softened their edges and reposed them to better communicate the way they would undulate and flutter, propelling it through the water. I also added some dots on the head, but that just ties into some design elements for when it evolves into a pretty awesome Armaldo later
Interesting.
down the line. Here is Primal Anorith,
Hmm.
the old shrimp Pokemon. This correctly restored Anorith uses
You
its
took
nimble
away some of
fins
its
to dart through the water.
fins.
This species
And that's
isn't
supposed to
weighed
improve
down by
its
the rock
water
typing,
type
and can
moving.
easily outspeed its prey.
Water moving,
Their
moving
grasping
water. Word
claws
good.
are used to crush through the shells of their food.
I'm
They
alright
live
with
in
this
the
one.
water, but
This one's
long
about
to
even
become
with the
something
original.
suited to the land. Its ability is Swift
But yeah,
Swim.
he
that
is right about
doubles
one
the
thing. There's a
Pokemon's
lot of
speed during
aliens
rain,
in this play.
and that
Where
just
there's
references
a lot of
how very
animals in this play. Where you're
speedy
just
these
like,
animals would have
I
been.
think this is an alien
It
race.
glides through the crystal clear cave water effortlessly.
This doesn't belong on
and
Earth, although you
up
see
at
some
with its
places on
big,
Earth. It's like, this is
adorable
Earth? Are you sure this
buggy
isn't Jupiter or
eyes.
something?
Suddenly, something catches your eye nearby. In the dark, you see a nano boa slithering past quickly. It
It's
looks
chasing
like
something.
It's pursuing something, but it takes a moment
Something
for
the
your
size of a
eyes to
Joltik.
spot its teeny tiny prey in the dark. Okay, I'm excited about this little bug design. It's based on early insects and how they made it to land and just
So even
spread
back in the
everywhere,
Cretaceous era,
diversified, and
bugs still
filled
look
every
like little
nook and
annoying
cranny
little
of the world.
pests.
The overall body plan isn't particularly exciting. I mean, it's just,
Where's the
a
giant
bug.
deadly mantis?
But this Pokemon will be tiny, minuscule
get that.
even, and it's always terrified of being stepped on. So it has these massive
For good
antennae
reason.
that give the illusion of a couple exclamation marks to alert
I didn't
others
think that
to
insects
its
were gonna be like
presence.
giant or anything.
It
It's just
also
funny to
let
me
you
that
bring in a
like they
nice
haven't
poppy
changed
red
in
to
years.
catch
Then again,
the eye,
if it ain't broke,
and the
don't
shiny
fix it,
goes
right?
a bright yellow for the same reasoning. Good caution colors.
Hmm.
But I'll let you know that
I'll
the
art,
real
I'll
fun
art.
comes when it evolves. And we'll learn
Yeah, and
more
it fights
about
back
that
against
when
the
we
snake.
get to the bug type gym. Alright, this is Squishum, the proto-bug Pokemon.
Proto-bug?
This minuscule
Like the first
ancestor
bug?
to modern bug Pokemon
It is.
extremely nervous. Being so small,
I was the first.
Squishum are worried that they will be stepped on at all times. They can often be found hiding
He's our
under
great,
rocks,
great, great,
foliage,
great, great, great
or even man-made
grandfather.
trash for protection. Though frail, Squishum are
We love him,
highly
and he's always
adaptable
invited
and
to
excel
cookouts,
at
but,
finding unclaimed niches.
There are some
Its
topics you
ability
shouldn't
is
approach
no
him
guard,
about.
so
Let's
all
just say
attacks
that.
used by or targeting this Pokemon hit without fail. You feel terrible for this minuscule Pokemon and don't want it to be eaten by the Nanoboa,
So you
decide to
kill it
catch
instead.
Professor Ginkgo follows
With
you
your Nanoboa.
and you soon come across a pair of Team Arc grunts.
Where is it? The boss said one of those weird rocks is hidden somewhere in this cave. I feel like we've been searching for hours. Can't we just take some of these fossil Pokemon and get out of here?
Stop your belly aching and keep looking. Oh, here it is. Look, I found it.
A very powerful
What are you up
Pikachu.
to,
Wait, no,
Team
that's some other
Arc?
team's gimmick.
I know you want to get your hands on every species we've revived here, but now you're collecting rocks?
Well, if it isn't the Pokemon Professor, we're just retrieving something for the boss.
If our boss wants something, we gets it for her. So move out of our way.
You join Professor Ginkgo in a double battle against the Team Arc grunts.
So they're
You
trying to
battle
collect
their
all the prehistoric
Pansear,
Pokemon.
Simi-Rage,
They're trying to complete the Pokedex. The bastards.
Shippet, Kabuto, and Extrio.
Damn, 6
They are
Pokemon
tough,
already.
but
By then
with
again,
the
it's when you think
Professor's
about it, it's more
strong
like 3
Pokemon,
each.
You are victorious.
Fine, whatever.
Whereas if this was
Let's
in the
get out of here.
mainline Pokemon games,
Boss
they
isn't
each
gonna
have
be too
one.
pleased when she hears you've been getting in our way.
There's gonna be some
Okay, maybe
serious
that's not fair. Maybe they have
repercussions,
two.
if you know what I mean.
Which would be 4
The
at that
grunts
point.
retreat, but not before dropping the strange rock they were trying to take. It levitates off the ground and is quite cold to
I guess
the
this is the
touch.
legendary relic the title
Professor
talked
Ginkgo
about.
slides the odd rock into her bag. But before you can ask any follow-up questions, she
Is this the
excitedly
float
points out
butterfly
a rare
stone?
Pokemon hiding in the shadows nearby. Alright, who's
A Alolan
ready for
Muck
pseudo
with
legendary?
Tyrantrum.
I imagine that this Pokemon would be incredibly rare, but
Oh yeah,
actually
it's a
catchable
pseudo
in much
legendary.
of the region, like
If it's
a
common, kind of
1%
defeats the purpose.
chance in a handful of areas. Mayo Cave being the first spot.
Hmm.
The other exciting thing is that I feel it has a legitimate reason for being a pseudo-legendary, for it has a roundabout connection to one of the legendaries for the region.
Oh
It's also
really?
pulling from a couple places the idea of primordial ooze, along with the fossil revival process and man-made Pokemon in general. This is a pretty substantial redesign from my initial sketch.
I'll
And
say.
again, I may show some of those not very good initial sketches in the future. Yeah, but that first pass just wasn't cute enough, so we needed to boost the cuteness.
Naturally.
This is Fossage,
Interesting
the
design.
new life Pokemon.
Hey, it wasn't a dragon.
A
I was
mysterious
wrong.
byproduct from the fossil restoration process sometimes bonds with fossil fragments and spontaneously creates this new Pokemon. Fossage are extremely shy and self-conscious about their appearance. Some specimens have escaped the Palian labs and hide across the region. They are extremely rare and mistrustful. Once bonded, they tend to literally stick to their trainer's side.
Ooh.
Its ability is gooey, so contact with the Pokemon lowers the attacker's speed stat, since it's very gooey.
Yeah.
And here are the new Pokemon in Mayo Cave. A particularly adorable lot,
Nice.
if you ask me. But what do you think of them? Let me know
I
your
like them.
favorite down
They're
in
cool.
the comments below. You follow Professor Ginkgo
I'm
through
having
the winding cave
poison
and eventually
type
arrive at
pseudo
an
legendary.
exit.
But well, I
Thank
guess
you
in the
for all
land.
your help. I had better stay
There's
here in
not a
case Team
Lego-
Arc
not
decides to
Lego,
come back
the
looking for
land-
more of those strange rocks.
Forgot the name.
You'll find
Poipo's
Primarina
evolution.
at
Does
the
that
end of
count?
Route 5, where you should also run into Bree, the flying-type head researcher.
Professor Ginkgo
Oh,
heals
good, I'll
your
get my
Pokemon
electrics
again,
and
you
rocks.
leave the cave's north exit. You are left to finish walking the rest of Route 5 alone. Accompanied only by
Freedom!
the wild Dodoy, Nihilocene, Ectrio, Relicanth, and Omanite. It isn't long before you reach the gate to Marina. But you'll continue from there in the next episode.
Of
But
course.
before we go,
Eh,
I need some more ideas. We made a couple cute bug-type Pokemon in this episode, but on the whole, our region is still sorely lacking creepy crawlies. So, here's where you come in. I need ideas
I know
for
S
bug
Code
types.
gave a
They
suggestion
can
in the
be based on
original
prehistoric
video.
creatures or
I
concepts,
scrolled down a
but I
little
want to
because
hear
sometimes I
all
like
about them
looking at
down
the
in the
comments.
comments below. Thank you so
Well, we did
much
in the
for
previous
watching,
one
and
anyway.
please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions.
Yeah, that's right. You'd
down
have
in
to
the comments
comment in the
below.
previous
And a huge
episode,
thank
not the
you
one,
to the
not
lovely
this one.
Aaron for voicing Professor Ginkgo, and Hunter and Amuda for being our oh-so-intimidating Team Arc.
Huh.
And I'll see you in the bug-type design episode.
Alright.
Bye.
This one was interesting. Got some new Pokemon in this place, and the Dark Cave is an interesting aesthetic. Probably be more maze-like, just being like, where the frig is anything? I like the partner system thing too. And yeah, got pseudo legendary. That's a poison dark, I believe it was, or poison rock, or something like that. Interesting thing with the primordial ooze gimmick, or like basis. That's interesting. We had some very inspired ideas, and I liked a lot of the Pokemon in this one. So yeah. And the evil team got that weird relic thing. I wonder where that's gonna go. Time will tell on that one. We'll have to stay tuned, I guess, to find out. But in the next episode, we're gonna get more bug types. Designing your bug type ideas in Pokemon Amber, episode 10.5.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another bonus
Sorry, that was a bit of a
episode.
weird cut.
I'm Gabe,
I
and
did
today
the
we're gonna be
standard
designing a
sign out
whole
thing and
bunch
then
of
remembered,
new
oh
bug
wait,
types
0.5.
for the Palian
Duh.
region.
You know?
Some weird
Force of
designs,
habit.
some fun designs, and one that everyone has been asking for.
You
Before we get into the
Flygon,
design
but
process,
not
I just
Flygon,
wanna give a huge
or
thank you
Vibrava,
to
I guess it would
everyone
be.
who stepped up and gave
Jeez
suggestions.
Louise.
I got so many, and they were all fantastic. Okay,
Except for you, Dave.
what's first?
You're sucked.
Well, that goes to all the great
Apologies
suggestions
to any of my
for
viewers
Bakura.
named
Now, I
Dave.
had quite a few people asking for a primal form of either Scolipede or Centiskorch.
That'd be
But
cool.
I am going to try and cut back on the number of regional forms, since we already have
This is
so
getting a
many
little
due
out of
to the
hand, to
existing
be
fossil
fair.
Pokemon, and I don't want the region to be dominated by primal forms.
Although I think some
So
people would be
obviously,
fine with
I
that.
decided to use some fern inspiration. For the pre-evolution, I specifically loved the look of ferns when they are still all curled up. I was able
They're
to
cute.
use the slightly unfurled fern sections for feet and ended up with a pretty nice silhouette right away. The colors took a little bit of tweaking to figure out, mainly because I wanted this line to be grass bug as opposed to bug grass. So I wanted a plantier
Looks like it would fit in a bug's life.
But anyway, here is Fernanto, the curled leaf Pokemon.
Cute.
Tracks left
It'll
by
probably
the
evolve
shy
into a
Pokemon
dinosaur.
Were first suspected to
Oh
be
wait,
a
in this series,
massive
that's not a joke.
multi-legged
That's actually a
ancient
possibility.
Pokemon. Modern researchers know that Fernanto travel through the forest in long lines, leaving a mass of footprints behind them. Their leafy arms and antennae are quite fuzzy, and they use all of them when giving hugs to their
Aw,
trainers.
that's adorable.
Its ability is Leaf
Let's
Guard,
eat it.
so that means the Pokemon cannot get any status ailments when it is sunny out. Oh, also I have to thank
That's
the lovely
useful.
Erin for the name. She said it as a joke. but I loved it so much that we're just gonna keep it.
That happens surprisingly often in
Okay,
life. I
so
was
let's have our
kidding!
little
No,
fern
you're not.
evolve
This is
into
real.
a big Arthropleura. And since the pre-evolution liked to march about, our Arthropleura is going to have a kind of military-esque helmet. And it took quite a bit of
Interesting.
tweaking to land on leaf plates that were, the right level of complexity while still reading as ferns. And I've got a couple of close friends who are particularly frightened of bugs. So I wanted
Imagine
to
that thing running around. Like, I don't know how
landed on
big
the
it is in the real world, but just
friendlier
looking
end
at
of
the
spectrum.
picture, it's like,
That's why
ugh.
this design in particular is the grass.
It's like, what if a millipede
Has
was giant?
eyes and big fuzzy mandibles and antenna. In hindsight, the eyes are maybe a little too big. It breaks the scale, kind of, like Dragonair, where you see the size of its eyes and you make a judgment about how big that Pokemon is off of that, only to find out that it's actually a much larger Pokemon and it just has, giant plate-sized eyes. But anyway, here is Millimarch, the Leaf Armor Pokemon. This massive Pokemon enjoys burying itself in mounds of leaves on the forest floor. Millimarch are able to move with surprising
I like the
speed
arm
using
colors
their
and
numerous
shiny.
legs hidden beneath their hard leaf plates.
It's a neat
They are
Pokemon.
quite playful and enjoy
I don't have much to
taking
say,
people
'cause I
and
don't really
Pokemon for
have an
rides on their
opinion.
backs.
It's
Its
fine.
ability is Overcoat, so the Pokemon is immune to residual
All these things are
damage
dying
from
to my
weather,
fire
so
type anyway, so I don't really
hail or
care.
sand isn't going to affect it at all. I think these two do a good job of presenting a giant centipede in a very lovable way. Okay,
No.
up next,
There's no
I've
such thing
got
as a
two
lovable
single-stage
centipede.
bug
That's a
types that will
contradiction
have
in
a bit of a
terms.
rivalry, trying to hunt one another. So the first design is inspired primarily by a comment from Master of Dreams, where they brought up that the giant sizes of prehistoric insects in the past was mainly due to the increased oxygen levels in the atmosphere, and that could lead to a particularly fun inflated balloon bug.
And that's why we shouldn't save
I'm
the
combining
environment,
that with the
folks.
numerous suggestions
If there was
I got
much
to design
oxygen
something based
now
on
as there was back
massive
then,
prehistoric spiders.
we'd be the size of dinosaurs, and we can't
Let's
handle
make a
that.
spider with a great big
That's a
balloon
joke.
booby
It's a terrible
who
joke.
is
It's a
able to
joke.
float about and drop
legal
down
reasons,
to
that's
like
a joke.
claw machine to catch its prey. This also works pretty well as
That's
those
not a
early
Pokemon,
spiders
that's an
didn't
actual
have the
spider.
ability to make silk and webs. So this floaty strategy is a fun workaround to let
Nope,
it
I'm
catch
stepping
its
on it.
prey.
I don't care.
Oh, and not that it's related, but I couldn't resist not giving it Drifblim's colors for its shiny. This is Raccoon.
I mean, I
the
like
Sky
that part,
Claw
but
Pokemon.
otherwise, it's like, no.
Researchers
What do you
were
mean it's
initially
all half
unsure
as
how
big
this
as me?
Pokemon
That's
could
it. I'm gonna be
support
mad.
the weight of its body. Raccoon fill their round bodies with warm air until they are buoyant enough
If
to
Misty
fly.
said she was
They drop
terrified
down
of
from
bugs
the
and
sky
saw
to
this
nab
thing,
their prey
she'd be
with their
100%
forelegs before
justified.
floating away
She's
again.
scared of caterpies. It's like, that's a
seems
little
that they
weird.
went
But
extinct
this
as
thing, it's
they
like,
were
no,
often blown
you're in the
off
right.
course by strong breezes. Its ability is Unburden, so that
I'm glad one of us
Pokemon's
isn't
speed
burdened
stat
by this.
when a held item is used. So basically, our claw machine is letting go of an item and able to.
Let go of me!
I think this design is a lot of fun, but let's see what Pokemon it has a rivalry with. There were a lot of suggestions
A literal
for
pin.
a Eurypterid or Sea Scorpion, and I
Galvantula.
couldn't say no to that. I really wasn't sure what to do with it until I looked at the list of Pokemon for the Palean region and saw that we are a little low on electric types.
Electric bug.
After that,
That's a
I
really.
imagined our grumpy little sea scorpion using its pointy tail as a lightning rod.
Ah, that's cool.
I found some really fun lightning rod designs while looking up research images and landed on something with multiple barbs. I also happened to be repairing some electronics at work yesterday,
that's always
which
fun.
included fiddling with some alligator clips, and I figured they would
And I
work
electrocuted
really
myself.
well for the design's claws. Lastly, I decided to bring in like a plug's prongs to stand in for the mandibles, and this is maybe taking the electrical tropes a bit too far, but I enjoy it.
I think it's
also,
cool.
I had to switch the shiny and normal colors afterwards, since it was reading like a steel type too much.
I mean, it does
Again,
kinda.
this is one of those designs that could be a bunch of different types. I could see this being a bug, electric, water, steel type. So tweaking
Oh,
the
well, I
colors
don't know
to
about
kind of
water
narrow that down
type,
is
but
always good.
sure.
But here is Scaregion, the electric tail Pokemon. When this Pokemon is feeling tired, it seeks out thunderstorms and waves their tail in the air until
I
it's
like this
struck
thing.
by
I think this
lightning.
thing is my favorite of
Children
the new introduced
prefer
in
to
this
spend their time in
two-parter.
the water, using electric attacks to stun their prey. Trainers must be careful not to accidentally touch both of their claws at
Another
once,
two-parter,
as it
then
will lead to
this
an
individual
uncontrolled
episode is the
shock.
best of the individual.
Its
This
ability
individual
is,
Pokemon is the best of
well,
this individual
lightning rod,
episode.
and has a lightning rod tail, so
Depending on
all
how you want to look
electric
at
type
it, you know what I'm
moves
trying
are
to say. I
drawn to
think
this Pokemon, and instead of getting damage, it gets a boost to its special attack.
every time I
This
see that
Pokemon's
freaking
electric
previous
typing
Spire
lets
type,
it
I'm
hit
just gonna
Raccoon for super
eliminate
effective damage, but Raccoon is able to retaliate with its flying type. Oh, and
What do you mean
I
retire?
know
You're
what
flying.
thinking.
Well, okay, flying's
Doesn't
weak to bug.
electric
Well,
type
bug's weak to
resist
flying, but still.
flying type attacks?
No.
Well, it does right now, but I have something in the works that would involve rebalancing the whole Pokemon type chart.
Ugh.
So look forward to that. But anyway,
I'm
let's
gonna
check
change the
out our
Pokemon
last
type
bug
chart to
type
make it more.
line.
It's fine.
I got a deluge of suggestions
Is it perfect?
asking
Fuck
for
no.
Meganura.
It's fine.
This colossal prehistoric
Don't change it
dragon.
now.
More
I only
specifically,
recently
people
started
wanted
figuring
to
it out.
finally
I'm
have
joking.
A dragon bug type Pokemon. One great suggestion from Chill Bill said that we could do a larval stage that would evolve into
Cell?
Meganura. Originally, it was going to be bug water type until I found a fun way to bring the dragon typing in earlier.
Hmm?
I took some
Gave it
serious
two heads.
liberties with the shape of a dragonfly nymph and turned it into the shape of a dragon head. This lets our little bug
Huge.
bluff its way out of conflicts by appearing much larger. This is Drano, the backwards Pokemon. This strange-looking Pokemon lays in marshes,
It's a cute little
attempting
thing.
to
I like the
appear as
idea.
head of a massive dragon-type Pokemon. Drano are quite skittish and flee as soon as they suspect their disguise has failed.
Reasonable.
Though hardly streamlined, they are nimble swimmers.
Keep a little bit
Its
of a water
ability
type.
is Wimp Out, so I'm giving it Wimpod's ability, so it will flee from battle as soon as it falls below 50.
Wimpod having that ability makes sense.
Alright,
The
let's see
Lysopod's
what our
like
little
meh.
trickster is able to evolve
Crap.
into. I wanted this design.
I don't know
to
if it's got
look
ability
as though
change, but it
could
certainly needs one if it
feasibly
hasn't
lead
yet.
to both the Flygon and Yanmega lines. The toughest thing to avoid was having our Meganura not just look like Yanmega, since Yanmega is pretty much a Meganura anyway. Blending
Base it on the
some elements from
Meganula
the
or
two
Mega
lines,
Megarus.
while giving it a more kind of basal
Megaguirus
appearance
from
got
the
us to a
Godzilla
pretty
series.
good
And
middle
Rodan.
ground. Oh, and if you're curious why the Drano and this design's shinies are pink, that's because I remembered that Yanma is Candy Eevee's favorite Pokemon, and I decided to make it Candy Eevee's colors, just for fun.
Aw, that's cute.
Also,
Something for a friend. I
these
guess that's why our
designs are
pictures in
dragon
there between
bug
Yama and
type.
Yanmega.
This is specifically because I'm trying not to repeat any typings exactly, and we will run into a bug dragon later in the region. But here
Oh,
is
so this is
Granura,
not Bug
the
Dragon. This is
bug
Dragon Bug.
Pokemon.
Completely different.
Researchers suspect that this flying
Do what
terror
you
is
can, I
the
guess.
ancestor to both the Flygon and Yanmega lines.
Interesting.
Granura are able to pick up unsuspecting Pokemon with their sharp claws and powerful wings. Their focused lenses and unmatched eyesight lets them spot prey from miles away. And its ability is, well, levitate. We gotta
Yeah.
give levitate to some Pokemon, so
Right?
that just
If
basically gives
Gengar
them
ain't gonna
flying
get it, they
immunities.
might as well.
And there it is, our Dragon Bug Pokemon. In fact, here are all of our new Bug Pokemon.
You made a lot of
doing
them.
a lot more designs than I originally intended. But I
Right?
got such great suggestions that I couldn't help myself. Let me know which of these is your favorite.
Scargion.
And
It
with
didn't
that,
change. The Dragonula
I'll see
is
you
taking
in the next
second place
episode.
easily.
where we will challenge the Flying type gym and meet our first new evolution.
Oh, right,
in the
we're doing
region.
that.
See you then. Bye.
It's funny how quick some things can slip the mind. But yeah. A lot of interesting new bug type. I will squish that spider, and it's not even funny. I will I will add the electric bug type to my party just so I can kill the spider more. I don't care if he says he's gonna change the type chart. For now, it's still gonna freaking be to kill that spider. Yes, my fire type can kill the spider, but I'm gonna kill it with its natural predator. Unless the type chart does fuck that over, in which case, never mind. I'll come up soon. Plus, I could evolve. I don't know. Anyway. Some cool new Pokemon. I like the leaf thing at the beginning and the dragon bug type at the end. A lot of good Pokemon throughout this, so I just like everything but the spider because it is a literal freaking spider. It's the problem of like. Okay, it's not a literal freaking spider. I was about to be like herdier as an actual dog, but it's like technically no. Yes, no, but it just I don't know. A Pokemon looks too much like something. This is like an uncanny valley for Pokemon in regard where it's like you look too much like the actual thing for my liking. I think that's part of the reason why I can't speak for him. I think that's part of why Esco Knights hates Clank so much of the Clank line. It's just like you're just gears. That's it. There is no special thing to you. You're just gears. And I'm neutral on the Clank line. I think they're just fine. I don't like the fact that they're not electric types. I think they should have been electric types and not just pure steel. But other than that, I think they're fine. But I also see the point where just like, you're just a thing. You're not even like a special mystical world version, like a fantasy version, like what the thing would look like. You're just a thing. That's it. Part of why I hate Klefki. You're just keys. That's it. Ugh. And that thing was the first fairy steel type, not the legendary Pokemon. The pair of fucking keys. Magnemite said to get away with it because I'm not just Magnus is a thing in between and like Muck's little goob. I think that's okay. I don't know. It's a case by case basis, but still. I don't know. But yeah, lots of cool new stuff in this. A lot of cool new Pokemon, as per usual in this show. I feel like I say that at the end of every part. A lot of cool new Pokemon in this one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the new Eevee is and what the evil team is up to with their nefarious things and what that stone thing picked up is in the last part. So I guess we'll have to look forward to finding out where all this stuff is next time. So, and until next time, I will see you all then. Bye!